Welcome, people. Welcome to episode 15 of the Dunya'S Gone Crazy podcast. Welcome.
15's a nice number, man.
It's a nice little even number. Another 5 more till episode 20.
Wow.
We're officially halfway between episode 10 and episode 20. We're halfway to episode 30. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's I feel good. Actually, I feel so good. I'm going to say it again. Welcome, people. Welcome to episode 15 of the Dunya'S Gone Crazy podcast. A podcast, a show highlighting the craziest news of the week. You know, showcasing some of the week's most ridiculous, some of the week's most sometimes really heartbreaking, sometimes the little quirkiest news of the week, showing just how much exactly the Dunya'S gone crazy. Or at the very least, just that bit crazier since we were younger. Because as the show's gone on, 15 episodes in, I've realized, well, I guess I've kind of always realized, but the Dunya'S been crazy. But it's just gotten a little bit crazier to me anyway. Today's episode is hosted by yours and truly, of course, Eunice. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. You feel me? To my brothers and sisters out there. And today I'm joined by my very, very good friend, a brother of mine, Musin. Say hello to the people, Musin, please.
Thank you. I appreciate the introduction, man. That was very nice. Appreciate it. Hello to the people. Assalamu alaikum.
And I'm also joined by my very, very good friend Hussein, but he's currently elsewhere with a phone call right now, and he'll interrupt us whenever he's back and ready to go. What's up?
Wait, so he's decided to go and prioritize other people, maybe close family and stuff like that over us. Wow. Oh my goodness. How could he?
On a milestone episode, no less.
It's disgraceful.
Episode
Absolutely
15.
disgraceful.
Just if you were here last episode and you were able to see our Florida man news about the man who, I don't know if you remember, the man who allegedly stabbed his roommate in the neck dressed in a cat costume. I want you to know that I did do my due diligence. I did double check to see if you know what there was about. There's still currently no updates on the news. And so we don't know still quite just yet why the man was dressed in a cat costume. So there you have it. But maybe, you know, by the time this has released, you know, let us know in the comments any updates on that news beyond what we already reported last week. Speaking of the comments down below, just above the comments, the like button is there. You feel me? Feel free to drop the like on us if you enjoy the video. You know, if you find liking the energy and all these type of things, then like the video to support the video. You feel me? And subscribe to the channel to see more of the videos and more of the channel and more of the content and so on and so on. And it really does help us in terms of like just your show of support and algorithms and all these types of things and all that stuff. We appreciate that. So let's get into it. How do you
add to that?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. One thing that's really cool on YouTube, so we've got like the long form videos.
Yeah.
But I've noticed you've been very active in putting out shorts and other kind of videos as well. So, you know, for anyone who maybe doesn't have the full time to watch the entire thing, you know, they can go ahead and watch the shorts and you know, maybe come back to the episode another time.
Yeah. Although the shorts one is very specific. It's a terminology on YouTube. So I don't quite have a lot of shorts, but I do have some clips. We do have a lot of clips on our YouTube channel. All you have to do is go to the playlist section of the channel and click on the clips playlist, and you'll see, you know, just click on the stuff that you find interesting, and see what our thoughts and opinions on those topics were and are. So yeah, go ahead and do that. You know, we have a catalog of those things, as I like to say.
Was that on purpose?
Come on. So let's move on to the rest of the show, yeah?
Let's do it.
How do you want to start the episode though, bro? Should we just go ahead and dive straight into the sadness? Or oh, Hussein's back. Hussein, hello. Say hello to the people, man.
Hello, everyone.
Alaikum salam. I was saying before, Hussein, you know, it's a little bit unprofessional the way that you stepped away, a little bit disgraceful, you know, that you've decided to prioritize, you know, maybe close family and stuff like that over us.
You might even say that it lacks couth.
Wow. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think I can share a little bit. It's mostly regarding property because, as you guys know, when I'm
big business.
Oh, hold
big
on.
business. Yo, money talks.
Now we're just connecting two landlords together.
Connecting. Okay, look at you networking. Wow. Cool.
Oh man.
Yeah,
really
no
good, man.
provide information, but yeah, that's the whole reason it was a little bit urgent because the man I was speaking to was actually he is in America. He lives in Atlanta, so
Global.
Yes.
Mr. Worldwide.
Oh man. Yeah, you know what? I forgive you now. That's all right. Let me stay in your good books just in case.
Yeah. Just in case. I can be your secretary, bro. Like that's fine. Like I'm okay with that. I don't feel demeaned by that.
We'll think about it. I need to schedule an interview.
Wow. Well, he's known you how many years? Over 10 years.
and he won't even be the one to interview it. He'll have a hiring manager.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah. How do you guys want to start this?
So what are the options? You said sad or
a little bit of sadness. We've got some tech news. Do you know what I mean? We have some funny, salacious kind of, you know, not really salacious, but like funny sort of like topics as well. But eventually we are gonna have to go to that sadness stuff. It's just up to you when you want to go there.
Man, I think like the energy is good now. Let's not bring the energy down. I think let's go to the tech maybe, and then we can, you know, let's keep the people here, and then we can maybe go to the sadness.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go into tech, and just very quickly, we're gonna talk about Tesla. So Tesla's long-awaited Cybertruck is finally ready for production. I don't know if you guys have seen you've all seen the Cybertruck, right? You know how it looks like the silver metal what's the word, cyberpunk kind of look to it, very futuristic like that. So
bulletproof.
Is it bulletproof? I heard it was bulletproof.
Yeah, man. 9mm bulletproof apparently.
Yeah.
Because I know
Did you not see the video of him
throwing that ball?
Yeah. But you know what I heard? Like apparently, I think it might have actually been like Joe Rogan that was saying this. He basically said like he's pretty sure that was like plans
for marketing purposes.
For marketing purposes. Like it broke, and then he was like, "Oh, we'll fix that," and he will. Of
course.
He'll sort it out.
Of course.
You know, like so I think they said it's like there's two groups of people. There's people that love him, there's people that hate him.
Right.
The people that love him are gonna be like, of course he's gonna fix it, no problem. The people that hate him are gonna be blasting him all over. Look at this, look at what he's doing. But all of that marketing he's getting, man.
Free.
And now
I feel it was great that it broke, but what I heard was apparently because they were stress testing it before the show.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe because they were banging on it pretty hard as well to make sure that it breaks now rather than later.
Right.
But it still broke.
But imagine it broke then though, and then broke up, and it just doesn't have a window. It's just broken. So a report from Electric said that Tesla is now ordering parts for the long-delayed electric vehicle. So, bro, time has gone by so quickly. So that whole thing, when they threw the ball and it broke, that whole conference was in 2019.
Yeah.
It was in 2019, and the expectation was that it was going to be available by 2021. We're now in 2023.
I see.
That's a good time, bro.
Slight delays.
Well, to be fair, we'll give them some bly, because 2020 was pandemic season, so we'll say that's probably what happened there. So production was pushed back because of that. But by the late 2022, so last year, it was estimated that pre-sales reached 1.5 million units. Units, like trucks.
I thought you were gonna say dollars.
No, units. Oh, way more than dollars. What? 1.5?
Yeah, I thought, man, that's kind of low. 1.5 million units.
I don't think they've.
Wow.
I don't think they've released like a price. I don't know. I could be wrong in that. But if listen, if you don't mind googling for me the price of the Ford Rivian, I think it's called the Rivian. The electric truck. You would assume that the Cybertruck is probably around that price point, more or less, and then you can just multiply that by 1.5 million and see where you land at.
Let's do the calculations. So the first thing I'm seeing here, it says starting at 74,800. I don't even think that's new.
That's probably base model, yeah. So yes, 1.5.
No, trucks are pretty expensive in America. Go up to 100K, but that's regular. That's average. 100K for a truck in America is average.
How many did you say?
1.5 million. Numbers don't even go that high, right? It says error in it.
1.5 million. How do we do that?
Well, we can just do the quick math real quick. It would be like $11 million. It will be like $11 million. 3.5. It will be like 11-12 million dollars if that was the base price. You can probably make the assumption that it will probably be a little bit more because of the design and the features, because apparently it's supposed to last. It has a 500-mile range on the truck in itself, on the battery.
Battery capacity, yeah.
That's crazy. 500 miles is crazy. And the more like obviously in the future more of these charging points are gonna be up and all these type of things. So 500 miles isn't even gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like that would be that at some point that would be even too much. Then they'll just have to.
So I don't know if I've done the correct calculations here. I feel like I have, but I've got 1 billion.
Oh, sorry, I did it wrong. Yeah, it'll be like a billion. Yeah.
1,122 million.
Yep.
Wow. And that's pre-order. So far, now the hype is coming back.
Just the pre-sales.
Yeah, pre-sales.
Yeah. And you don't know, obviously, like, we don't know, like, we don't know how many of that pre-sales actually become sales themselves. These type of things. But, I mean, the argument here is that they say that the more different types, because before like the Rivian and these type of things, like electric vehicles have normally just been like sedans, like small cars and all these type of things. And they say that the more different types of cars there are, types of electric vehicles are out there, the more, different people would want to buy them. Because not many, some people do like the idea of a truck. Some people do like the idea of a SUV. But currently there isn't options for those. So, they're not really into that.
Yeah. Man. One thing I saw recently, kind of in relation to this, like, I imagine the future. And like in movies and stuff, you've got the future. Everything looks like high tech and like modern and like simplistic. And I saw something recently that said like simplicity is like making everything look the same. Like before, you used to go like to a home, the doorbell had a pattern. You know, like everything had like a personality kind of thing. Like even if you look at like in the UK, like the UK is like known for like its telephone boxes and like things like that, right? They have like personality, and everything now being like simplified and like being minimalistic is taken away from the personality of everything.
Right.
Which is very interesting.
And the minimalist culture is becoming well, it's not becoming. I think it is like a already very popular choice amongst
100%,
like millennials and even some Gen Z too. Like it's something that they really like to the extreme of some people don't even like have like couches or things like that. They just sit on the floor and like all these type of things. I know people who just they buy the same shirts and they just have a lot of them and they just wear the same shirt and like trousers every single day, whatever the occasion is. Because like having choices is like too much outside of being a minimalist and these type of things.
You know what? That's like really funny to me. You know, sometimes it's like a gag in a cartoon where they'll go to the wardrobe, they open up the wardrobe and they're like, what should I pick? And they always wear the same thing. So it's the exact same shirts and everything.
It's true.
But it's becoming a reality now. Like some people are doing that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. No, I think it has to be the trend as well. Like nowadays it's insane. Like depend on what you look at, but you got so much going on. Like cancelled products, like things that you can buy, but like you shouldn't really buy because the animals endangered or whatnot.
Yeah, it's true. I hear
even though you have the money.
I hear it. So yeah, you're right. Because in a world where if you don't control yourself, it can also be it's very quickly to get cluttered with unnecessary things. Do you know what I mean? Like you can just have like a bunch of things that it just doesn't make sense. I remember watching a South Park episode and they just had like, for example, like a margarita make like that, bro. That episode was crazy. I don't even want to go too much into it. But just going quickly back into the article. So, you know, so one of the advantages of having different types of EV is obviously more people would then buy EVs because the cars or the vehicles that they like are available in the EV, which means then, you know, like the prices of electric vehicles go down because, you know, you have more competition in the market. So they become more affordable. So the more people are buying them, the less we use gas and all these type of things. And it just there comes this sort of like domino effect that at the end of it just means it's better for the earth. And it's like better for like pollution and removing pollution and all these things. It says here actually that according to Statista, passenger cars put about 3.3 billion tons of carbon pollution into the atmosphere in 2020. I don't know what that number means. Like, I don't know if that's a lot, but since it's in the article, I'm gonna assume it's a lot. Like billion sounds like it's a lot.
Yeah.
If you told me like this beach has 1 billion grains of sand, what's that though? Like that doesn't really mean anything. But I don't know.
Is that a big beach? Is that just a deep, small beach? Like
exactly.
What is that?
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, but listen, talking about Elon Musk has now become again the richest man in the world. He got his number one spot back.
Congratulations.
It's estimated that and this is before the Cybertruck is released. So his net worth now is currently at $192 billion. His competition is the CEO of Louis Vuitton, Moet and Hennessy, astaghfirullah, Bernard Arnault, and his worth is $187 billion. So the differentiating.
Wait, what happened to Oh,
what's his name? Jeff Bezos. Oh, I know what happened
yeah,
to
my
him,
guy
but
Jeffy got
Jeff.
divorced, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he still has a lot of money still, but
he's got a lot. Yeah,
I don't know if he's competing with these guys right now. I think he might. He's probably still top 5. So yeah, the Bernard, his Bernard Arnold. Like, I feel like if your name is Bernard Arnold, like you have to have a lot of money. So yeah, his worth is $187 billion. So the difference between them is $5 billion. And when you're that rich, $5 billion is nothing, bro. Like, he can get that. He can close that gap like next month. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's so
All
crazy.
he needs is one bad day. That's it.
And that's the thing, and that's what happened though. Like, the reason that he became number 1 again was because Bernard had a bad day. Like, the LVMH stock went down like the other day, like last week. And that's what happened. He just had a bad day, and so Elon Musk went up again, which to me is good because I have a lot of a lot of my life savings is on Tesla shares. So keep going, make money for me.
In short.
Oh, and I don't know if you lot.
Isn't it?
Sorry, go on.
Isn't it time for people to realize that EV cars is not really saving the planet? For now, it's just having this new tech. Really, it shouldn't really for people need to stop thinking that EV cars are saving the planet.
But why? I know why, but you tell me why.
No, we know why, which is the main issue that everyone really knows about, which is batteries. Unless someone invents a battery where it's so easy to make, that basically has no emissions, then yes. But otherwise, making a lithium ion battery is very bad in for the air, the same as a petrol or diesel car.
Well, but
not the same.
Here's the thing,
Actually,
though.
more.
Here's the thing, though. Whilst you are right, Tesla, from what I've read, is actually very good with that. In that, the main thing with making a lithium battery is the main issue with it is the cobalt. The cobalt is very difficult to mine, and it's almost unethical the way they mined it. Actually, the way they mine all the elements for this for the batteries is like you can make a very unethical argument for them. But in terms of Tesla, though, what I've read, their batteries don't have cobalt.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But I think, this is such a, to me, this
One
is
great thing that Tesla does is offset the carbon emissions.
Yeah.
So using solar panels, making their own power. Apparently,
Kinetic energy from the wheels and stuff.
one mega factory can provide their own needs for electricity, and if they want, they can also share it.
Yeah. I mean, he's leading the revolution, or trying to anyway. And I think people are just kind of tagging along, like with electric cars, and maybe they're not doing it in the best way. But at the end of the day, like if this is the direction that we're going in, it's a whole like culture shift. It's like changing everything.
Right.
The whole infrastructure of energy is going to change because of this.
Right.
And that's the hope. That's the goal. Like they're hoping to change everything so that like you can't generate renewable gas or like renewable petrol.
Yeah.
You can generate renewable electricity. You can't generate renewable petrol. So yeah, this is where we're going.
But also the convenience, brother. Like, if you think about it, you won't be as free anymore. You won't be as convenient anymore. If you drive an electric car, even though it's so futuristic, I think it requires more of your attention than it would for a petrol or diesel car.
But I think that's an issue for now, though, because I think we're still in the baby stages of everything. But I think as these things become more ubiquitous and more common, I think at some point it will be a non-issue, especially with things like charging points and all these things. I think there's so much more to actually. We'll have this conversation in the future because I don't want to drag this out and go off on too much of a tangent. But there is such a thing as there is some issues that I think we're heading towards in regards to electric vehicles and all these type of things. Yeah, the thing that made it for me was there was a man riding. There's a CCTV video of a man riding an electric bike, and he was riding it, and then it ran out of like money, because you know how you rent them, it ran out, and then it just stopped. It just stopped.
Wow.
Like, you know how when you do a front brake, it just stopped,
Yeah.
and he just flew over, right? So I have this very, 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 very weird feeling that in the future, if something just stops, you'll just be stuck on the road then. That's it. You haven't paid something, you just not be able to use it. Or to a point where the car would just be like, you have to get out. You haven't paid. Get out. If you don't move, we'll call the police. That type thing. And then
are you saying leasing a car would be dangerous?
But listen to this though. Once they leave the car will self-drive itself to the warehouse until you've paid whatever it is that you needed to pay. Bro, like
you have like a payment plan on the car you pay, like, monthly.
Yeah.
And then if you don't make your payment, the car just like leaves you.
Bye, get out of the car. Like, it will just, even at night, it will just drive itself back to the warehouse.
That's really interesting because now, like, if you owe money, one of the things they'll send like bailiffs to your house. They'll knock on the door. They might take stuff in the home to pay off whatever it is that you like owe. But now they can just take the car back, and man.
Oh yeah.
And I actually see that becoming a rule. Like the car just doesn't belong to you anymore, and it will just drive off. Like, you have it plugged in. It will unplug itself and just leave. Like, you'll wait until it has enough charge, and then it will charge itself if it's far away. And then it will keep going, and then it will be like, "Yo, I'm back, man."
Yeah, no more red notices, no more final warnings. No, would you just go? Khalas. It's over. So just last question before we move on from the topic. If you could afford it, would you purchase the Cybertruck today?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I would. Man, that's a cool looking truck. I think
man.
I don't even know about the features. I'm sure the features are great, but man, that just looks so. Just to own that, I'll probably get bored of it after a bit. You
gotta think about how much you just stand out though, innit? Like, you're just like driving randomly. Like, first of all, you can't even have that car in London. That's facts. It won't fit nowhere. But but like, if you're like, for example, in the US, just driving it, or like in the freeway, for example, bro, like, you just stand out, bro. It's so aero-streamed as well, dynamic. Like, bro, like,
it is a car that's out of place.
I can see people like vandalizing your car, bro. Like, what are you doing here, bro? Here's a like on your door, like, just for that.
You're gonna have to bleep that out.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to bleep that. We don't have to bleep that out. That's a scientific term, brother. What are you talking about? So yeah, I mean, Elon Musk, good luck with Tesla, and I mean that sincerely. Please, like, please.
Please, no more tweets.
Oh no, never that. He's carrying on with these tweets. He's not caring about these tweets. But whatever. Actually, just quickly. So you guys know June is Pride Month, right? And so a lot of people are celebrating Pride Month. And on the first day of June, Elon Musk retweets a video that allegedly is very transphobic. On the first day of Pride Month. And then what's his name? Jordan Peterson puts a video on Twitter. Like, it's like an hour documentary or like an hour discussion. And the title of the video is "What is a Woman?" Nah, khalas, we'll move on. Oh man, these people are. Hey, carry on, man. Do what you do, bro. Do what you do. You guys just do you want to go to the next tech news, or do you want to move to a different?
I think we bored some of our viewers with tech news. Let's move on to something a bit more
Bored. I think this
exciting.
was, it
Out of
depends on the
robotic.
viewer, Depends on the viewer. But I don't want to get to the sad news.
No, we're not gonna get to the sad news. We won't get to the sad news. We just decided we'll just move that to the end.
To the end? So we're still going to talk about it.
Yeah, we're still gonna talk about it. So we're gonna move on to Al Pacino, man. Al Pacino. Do you guys know who Al Pacino is? You guys know who Al Pacino is?
I know.
Al Pacino.
Was he? Wait. The gangster
Isn't he the guy in the movie?
Yes,
yeah, the gangster movie, man.
Iconic actor.
You want a piece of this, or what is it?
No. Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, there we go. I say hello to
Godfather, Scarface, famous mafia, like very iconic actor. Al Pacino is expecting his 4th child at the age of 83. This time with 29-year-old girlfriend Noor Al-Falah. So at the age of 83, the iconic actor Al Pacino is expecting his 4th child. Allegedly he demanded a DNA test because he didn't believe that at his age he could still have babies. It's like, there's no way that still works at my age. So he demanded a DNA test, but the DNA test only proved beyond reasonable doubt, that he is the father.
Wow. Man, she is set for
Scarface
life.
lives on.
Well, this is his 4th child. He had Scarface would have lived on anyway, but I guess it lives on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, anyway.
No, we think about it. A mafia man should always have a big family.
Listen, that's the. But
good for him.
So Al Pacino, obviously, it was a very controversial type. Not really controversial, but it was big news that he had a children. Of course, Al Pacino isn't the only one that had a kid at an sort of a more advanced age, we'll call them. Robert De Niro.
I like the way you put that.
Robert De Niro also had a baby recently at the age of 79. You guys know who Robert De Niro is as well, right? I mean,
I think so.
If you know Al Pacino, you must know Robert De Niro. That's the Goodfellas himself. You know what I'm saying? Raging Bull, Taxi.
That's insane, bro. 79, did you say?
79. He had a baby.
Subhanallah, bro. See, this is why I don't understand my family. Well, not family, like family and relatives. Why are you pushing me to get married, brother? You got men out here who are pushing 100. They're closer to 100 than they were to 20.
To 50.
To 50. And they're popping out kids left, right, center.
Well, so I hear you, but this is where the controversy kind of comes in a little bit. Do you guys think, this is the big question that people are sort of asking in regard to men or people in general having children at these ages? Is having children at these ages, is it selfish? Do you think that having a child at such an age is selfish?
Or would they be doing it for themselves? I wouldn't imagine that a child, someone at that age wants to have a child for themselves. I mean, they could, but I wouldn't see what the reason would be. Like, if you are like going to be gone soon anyway.
Well,
I don't know. Well, you just want one more child.
Well, that's the thing, is that it might be. Well, with Al Pacino, for example, obviously he demanded a DNA test because he didn't know. Well, allegedly, we don't actually know if this is true or not, but allegedly he demanded a DNA test because he wasn't expecting that child anyway. But say like for a Robert De Niro, for example, who I don't know the extent of this, but it seems like, you know, it doesn't seem like he was surprised or anything of that nature. Like when you say that they're gonna be gone soon, where does that leave the child? Do you know what I mean? Like there are people who have kids at these ages who do it for legacy, quote unquote, purposes, right? They want to leave as much legacy, and they want their memory to be lived on. They want to whatever else the reasons may be. But in actuality, though, when these kids come out and they're raised, some of them may not have a father or a functioning father at like in their teenage years, for example, which arguably is some of the most important times of a kid's life. Like, you know what I mean? Like when this kid is born, Al Pacino is gonna be late 83, probably 84. When this kid reaches 10 years old, he's gonna be 94. Do you know what I mean? Like, hopefully he's still there by then.
I totally agree.
How functional would he be?
I don't know about selfish, but I feel like it is something to consider. You need to take into account that you can't just have a child just from one parent. I mean, I have lived for years without a father, I would say, and I would say having a father figure is very, very important. I wouldn't call it selfish because at that age, anyway, most men would not really think about it. Seeing that most of these are accidental, as you said,
Right.
But luckily, I would say at that age, if you already had kids, I would say your memory would live on, and I think the kid will still be raised by the siblings. But yes, I wouldn't call it selfish. I would just say it's wrong.
What about inconsiderate then?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it is. I think your first point to say is something to consider, yes, but like one of my favorite quotes is it takes a village to raise a child. So if you have that village and someone else is going to be a father figure to that child, then not that it's they can replace the father, but they'll have what they need in terms of like, you know, male role models and things like that. I think, yeah, as long as there's like a community around who's willing to be there for the child and raise the child, yeah, I think it's all right. Like they got money, they can hire a male role model if they want to.
I mean, talking about community, we're gonna go a bit off topic here, but sadly, one of the sheikhs that was talking in the Jum'ah, he was kind of mad. He was saying on how the community used to be, and how when you see a kid on the road doing something wrong, back in the day, not even that long, say 10 years ago, people used to tell them off because they were part of the community. But he was also talking about nowadays with how the future is moving, how we have this tech and whatnot. No one cares about anyone. Everyone trying to move on their own line. They don't want to step out of it. No one wants to be uncomfortable.
You know what? You took us there, man. But you know what? Before we move on, yeah, you know, it's not for people with no children. This isn't really like a topic for us anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like we can only really discuss it like on such surface levels because we don't have children of our own. So all we can really say is hopefully, you know, the baby comes out healthy. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the baby is healthy and is able to grow up well and fed and kept. You know what I'm saying? And all these type of things.
Yeah, it's a good life. Hopefully,
inshallah. But I mean, you took us there. Hussein. In terms of people not really sort of like caring. It's people are just sort of what essentially it is that people are just in there sort of like mind my business type thing. where it's like I don't want to get involved, even though it's really something that I should get involved in.
Yeah, it would affect you in the future, no matter what.
Exactly.
If not you, your kids.
Cool. So moving on to one of the sad news that we have today. The headline reads: A teen girl in India was stabbed to death in public, reigniting outrage over violence against women. So there was a security video lasting well over a minute that was going viral on social media. And it was showing the brutal stabbing and like bludgeoning of a 16-year-old girl in a busy public alleyway in the capital of India, New Delhi. Like, you got to think about how populated India is and then how populated New Delhi is. And so, you know, you can, if you want to, I don't recommend you search for the video. It's very well, they blur it out, but it's still like
Disturbing.
you can see what he's doing to her, and it's very, very disturbing. But outside of what he's doing to her, it's really the people that are walking past the whole thing. So, you know, you see on the video people sort of just looking back, kind of like what's happening, and then kind of just moving forward. You see other people sort of seeing what's happening and then running away. And then, like, no one has stopped. No one stops. No one even, like, stops to see what's happening. Like, people just walk past it and move on. And then some people even, according to witnesses, have videoed, like, took their phones out and videoed, like, what was happening on their phone, and sort of just becoming bystanders, essentially, to the incident. We're just gonna call it that. And
SubhanAllah, brother.
And so I think that really speaks, and I think that's so much that speaks volumes to exactly what you were just saying, Hussein. Like, people are in this mind state of just like, mind my business, man. I don't want to get involved. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved.
It is insane. It's something similar happened to it, but talking about this topic, brother, that's crazy.
It is.
To see a young man doing this act, and people, I mean, some people, yes, ran, but others were like looking, they know what's happening, but they just walked off. They're like, I don't know her, I don't know him. Keep going. Keep doing what I do. And that's insane. I mean, we can blame it on the people, but at the same time, it's the lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah. I think.
You know what? I was saying, I wonder what I would do, because thinking about that, I'm like, of course, you know, I would have stopped it. I would have been there, but because of the society we live in, would I have stopped it? Would I have ran? Would I have just froze? Like, nobody knows what they would have done in that situation. I hope that I would have tried to stop it. I hope that I would have at least shouted or something. I hope that I would have made some sort of attempt. But would I have, especially when you see other people run, when the first person runs and the second person runs and the third person runs, and then people are just walking by and ignoring it.
It is the herd mentality,
like,
isn't it?
It's herd mentality, yeah. It's like you have to fight against the herd mentality, but we are made to go by the herd mentality.
But
like, one person does something, you follow.
Just to go off of what you're saying, just real quick too, though, it's just like, none of them, like, I hear what you're saying in terms of, would I go try to help? You can make the argument that some people didn't want to jump in because he was holding, like, he was stabbing her, so he was holding a weapon.
A knife, yeah.
Right. So, but, like, cool. Like no one screamed, no one shouted for help. No one, like, I don't know if they have an emergency number in India, but no one called, like, the police. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Like, people were just watching it as it kind of played out.
Man.
And so I was telling, so in our pre-production meeting, I was telling Muslim that one of the articles nearly made me cry, and it was this article. And the thing that nearly made me cry, I'm gonna say it now. Hopefully, you guys, I don't know if you're gonna cry. I hope you don't cry, because it's gonna make me cry if I see you cry. It's some of the quotes from the father of the victim. His name is Janak Raj, and he says, "I saw my daughter was lying on the ground with her face to the ground. Her organs had come out and her head had been smashed in. She lay there lifeless. There was no point in taking her to a hospital. It angers me to know that no one helped my daughter. If they had helped her, she would have been alive today. I also heard that the bystanders were busy filming videos of the incident. Even if they had screamed, it would have helped my daughter." He mentions that his daughter helped with the family's finances by tutoring. And then he adds, "I don't feel alive today," as he cries. "I miss her so much. She was such a good child. What do I do?" And it, because there must be like, to a certain, again, we're people with no children, but there must be something like to a certain degree. You can probably feel empathetic towards a father who who probably feels like they're supposed to be the guardians of their family, especially in certain things. And to know that that happened to your daughter, for example, and you weren't there to help, one, but two, to find out other people weren't there to help in such a busy traffic, high traffic area. Like, it's impossible. It's impossible to know what this man is going through. And all you can really hope for is just that he's surrounded by people who know how to help him at this point in time, and how to take care of him, and all these type of things. Because that's tough, man. That's tough. That's tough.
No, that's really tough. I really hope that he stays strong, because when incidents like this happen to a father, they always tend to think too hard and forget about the people around them. Like, even though you did lose a child, which is unfortunate, you do still have other people who rely on you, and you do have to sadly move on and
Yeah.
live life. But this is just insane. I mean, regardless of the motive, if there was a backstory or not, it was still a very high trafficked area. People were walking, looking,
There's
and
never,
doing.
bro. There's never anything a person can do to you that, well, to me anyway. There's never anything that can really evoke the emotions of stabbing a person, a 16-year-old girl, as a man in public for over a minute. Well, the video captured a minute. Do you know what I mean? It's, yeah. So really, in just to sort of close it all out, um, do you then think that because this happened in New Delhi, but this mentality of mind my business, it's not a New Delhi thing. This is a big city thing. It happens in New York. It happens in LA. It happens in London. It happens in Tokyo. It happens in these like high traffic, massive. From a young age anyway, that there needs to be like a sort of a push campaign for a lack of better word, to just remove this mentality of mind my business for certain things. I mean, like, if you see something wrong that's happening, at the very least, like, figure out how to call 911 or 999,
Yeah.
or figure out how to call the police on like certain things.
I
There's an
think the
advert.
issue
I'll go on.
lies there. No, you go, but I would just say the issue is there as well. Is when you get police involved. Police is firstly, police is not always involved. Sorry, police is not always available. Because of how life is nowadays. Anyway, um, response time is not going to be that great. But even if you know the person, and you report it and whatnot, there's still the scare of them coming back to you, depending on the area that you live in. Let's say in London, for example, it recently happened the same thing. A guy was having his meal in a restaurant, a full house, right?
Yeah.
A couple of guys walk in, stab him to death on his chest multiple times.
Yeah.
The guy was laying on the table, bleeding out to death, right? A
Mm.
guy comes in and takes a video. My man is dying out here, and he got his 10-second fame, right? While a person lost their life.
Yeah. Listen.
So I think it's the scare factors as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was an advert I saw on the bus, and it was to do with like harassment, and there was a bunch of people basically, and it was like, what would you do or what would you say? And it gives like different options. Like one person is like that, well, it's like their thoughts, and then one person's like, I'm gonna say something. One person's like, I'm gonna tell the driver. Another person's like, I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna call the police or whatever it is. But like, and then it's around harassment. I think there are campaigns around it, but it's very niche in terms of like specific things. You know, I think like on transport, the train and the bus, is unfortunately a more common than it should, where women are like sexually harassed, right? Especially when everyone's close together. Um, yeah, so there is a campaign for that. I don't know how you would do a campaign for just like look after each other. I don't know. I think it's just a mentality. Like
Yeah.
I was, I did like we did DOV, the Duke of Edinburgh Award, and we did like the expedition. And that's the first time I properly went like outside of London. Like I've been outside of London before, but it was just to friends' house, like my
Right.
parents' friends and stuff. So I didn't actually like talk to strangers. And I remember when we went on the expedition, and so the expedition is like a walk, like a trek that we have to do.
Right.
And I remember walking, and someone said hi to us.
Right.
And me growing up in London, that was so strange. Like I was like, where do I know you from? That was my first thing. Where do I know?
Yeah.
Do I know you? Who are you?
Right.
And they were like, good morning. And I think me and my friends, we didn't even like reply. We didn't say good morning to the first person because we kind of just looked at each other like, who is this weirdo saying good morning to us?
Right.
Anyway, let's move on. And then we kept walking, and then it's like a walking trail. So another person said good morning, and we were like, good morning.
Right.
And it just kept going. And then eventually, and this was like a few hours later, I saw someone. I was just like walking down the street, good morning, or like good afternoon. They're like, good afternoon. Bro, I loved it. It was so
100%.
nice and it felt natural. And I've lived in London my entire life. But yeah, it's just the London mentality. I don't know what could be done. I don't think anything can be done. Like what can we do? You say hi to someone, people get offended. I was on the bus once, and I looked at someone the wrong way. This is the first time. I've never had it where I've looked at someone the wrong way and they've gotten offended.
Yeah.
But I didn't even look at this person. I looked, so like they were sitting on the bus, like near the back of the bus.
Right.
I looked past them out of the window to see, because I was on the bus. I was going to switch to another bus to see if that bus was there. And as I looked, the guy gets up and he's like, "Oh, why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me?" And he like squares up to me, and he's like trying to. And my wife was with me at the time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, that's never happened before. Somebody has been like
confrontational over time. Like something so trivial.
Just you looked at me like I thought that was a childish thing. Like I remember it happening. Like when
it is. Don't get it mistaken. Just because an adult did it doesn't stop. It is still childish, and that man was being childish.
Yeah. Of course. Well, I don't think he was being childish. I think he was just like troubled. He maybe had something going on in his life. I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, he just
a
came
defense
up to me.
mechanism. It's a defense mechanism.
Because of things going on in his life. So yeah, I accepted it as that. But yeah, and luckily, actually, talking about like people helping, like I was there. He came up to me, and I was like, like standing in like the buggy, like wheelchair area. So he comes up to me, so I'm kind of like trapped in there, and my wife's next to me as well. And then he like comes up to me, my wife is there, and then he was like what, and then he was like, leave. He was like telling my wife, leave, get off the bus. And then my wife, I was proud of her. She didn't do it. I think she might have panicked a little bit, but she didn't do anything. And then I looked at her and I was like, yeah, you can get off. And then she got off. I was like, yes, listen to him. You listen to me. And yeah, and then he was like, you're not getting off this bus. And I was like, yes, I am. And I didn't say anything to him at first. He was just like, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, you're not getting off this bus. And you're coming to the next stop. And at that point, now I'm like, nah, I'm I'm getting off. And then I tried to get off. And he was like trying to block me, and I was ready to fight him. But then luckily the back door was open of the bus, and some Somali like aunties, they were like, "Oi, leave him alone, leave him alone." And then the guy turned around and he sees the Somali aunties and he's like, "Oh, you're lucky. Dust, man." And then I was like, okay, and I just walked off. I was like, "Have a nice day." He's like,
Wait,
"You too."
how old was this guy?
You too was so aggressive. He was I don't know. He seemed like he was maybe in his late 20s, is what I would guess.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, but he just seemed. Yeah, he just seemed troubled, man. Like I assume it was like a mental illness, or something along those lines. And I wish him the best, and I hope he gets, whatever help or support that he needs in his life.
Yeah, it's just I don't. Yeah, like I don't know what type of help. I don't know whatever. I don't know what type of campaign it would have to be, but something has to be done, man. Because it's
no, but brother,
it's too much, bro.
It's people like this who keep dying and end up in the news and making some other people look bad. It's because why are you being so? One day he could do it to the wrong person. Do you think he's gonna stay alive?
Yeah,
you need to be careful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I didn't do anything. Somebody else would have gone very
luckily
aggressive with him.
Yeah. Well, the suspect has been arrested. So he is in jail. Obviously more investigations need to happen and all these types of things. But I mean, you were on camera, so multiple cameras at least. So
in jail in India, brother.
Jeez, I mean, I have more quotes here.
Wait, did you say Jizalu?
Yeah.
Like a Vindaloo?
No. I have a quote here actually, and then we're gonna finish off with this, from Yogita Bayana, founder of People Against Rapes in India. Oh, excuse me, trigger warning. I did it late. Said the problem is largely rooted in old societal norms. We learn to live with this kind of situation in our country, which is very unfortunate. The basic patriarchal fabric is totally rotten, and right now we need to fix that. Putting cameras and putting marshals is not going to be enough. The work has to be done on the mindset of the men and the boys. Now, I don't want to speak towards like the stuff that happens in India, because I've not lived in India, so I wouldn't have experienced these type of things. But you do hear, like certain reports and certain things that go on in India, for example, and like how certain like actions that are committed by men towards women tend to go either underreported or unreported. In certain cases, because it just becomes so normal. And even to certain things where it's like, when it is reported, some of the victims are either not believed or are even accused themselves of lying, for example, to ruin, quote unquote, the reputations of the man. So I mean, I don't know how much of that is true, of course, but you do hear those type of reports coming out of India and all these type of things. So, I suppose we'll just end with
thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers to the father and the family and friends of the girl, man. We hope all the best for you guys moving forward. And you know what? Whilst we're in the thoughts and prayers, I want to say thoughts and prayers to the people that passed away in the train collision, again, also in India. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it's been recorded so far as of filming this podcast. More than 280 people dead as Bengaluru to Howrah Superfast Commando Express goods train collide. So 3 trains collided. One of the train, the Bengaluru Howrah Superfast Express, derailed and fell onto the next track, and then those coaches then collided with another train, and then it just created a domino effect of coaches being derailed, and then a goods train, a third train, also hit them. So it was three trains. I think over 1,000, and you've seen the videos of the trains in India where people like are on top even and all these type of things. I don't know if this was one of those trains, but you can imagine how crowded some of those trains are. So I think they're still making some excavations. I think they're still making some searches, but so far more than 280. I think it was 288 people have been found to have passed. And over 1,100 people are being treated for injuries from this accident. So thoughts and prayers for those people too, and their families and friends, and for the people who didn't pass away, for them to get well soon and get back to their families and loved ones.
Yeah, man. Inshallah, Allahumma ameen, man. But I think working in transport, I just extend a little bit into this, man. It is almost impossible to have 2, let alone 3 trains collide together. So there must be a very big explanation coming on, because it's very unlikely that there has to be an issue going on here.
Yeah.
It's just a lack of maintenance.
Yeah, this is crazy.
They're definitely gonna do a massive investigation on it. I don't know what lawsuits are like in India, but if that had happened in the US, a lot of people would be millionaires coming out of that. All right, man, we're gonna round out the show for today. But before we move on to our Florida man news, a couple more things did happen this week. Where is it? Joe Biden. Joe Biden once again.
Not another one, please.
Joe Biden once again showed his age. He fell again. So he was at a graduation ceremony. He was handing out diplomas. To be fair to him, he'd been standing there for about an hour or so. And when it was all said and done, he stumbled on a sandbag that was on the floor. The White House did, come back and said that he is okay, he's fine. And when he got back to the White House, he joked to the reporters, I got sandbagged. So he's cool, he's okay, he's fine. But there you go, once again, showing his age. Because at 45, even if there was a sandbag, you don't fall. Bro, you don't fall, bro. At our age, brother, if there was a sandbag behind me, I still don't fall. There's no way. I catch myself somewhere, bro. I don't fall, bro.
The general is going down.
I don't fall. This is why I say that anything, I'm not talking about him anymore. Anything that happens over the age of 70, is natural. In however a person passes away at that age is natural death, bro. Because, and this is a Jimmy Carr one, even if you got hit by a bus, it's still death by natural causes. Because if you were younger, you would have gotten out of the way. Uh
But being the U.S. President at this point, man, the government
it's
needs to
too.
be. They need to step up and
Yeah, man.
assign a personal
It's true.
third hand for this person, man.
There should have been someone there to see the sandbag. Remove it beforehand, bro. Like there should have been someone there. You can't be the leader of one of the most of arguably the most powerful nation of on planet Earth, and then like not have someone doing that for you, especially if it's already happened so many times. Like someone's supposed to be at that airport, the airplane stairs, and like making sure the stairs is properly dry so you don't slip or nothing like that, bro. Like there's supposed to be someone doing that all for you. But
I mean, add on into this, bro. I'll correct me if I'm wrong as well. But I had another article where I've seen him sleeping in the middle of a meeting between the Saudi, I think the Middle East it was, and you know how they speak Arabic and then you have the translator. Yeah, he was knocked out, brother.
he needed a nap, bro. That's part, bro. He needed a nap. That's part of their thing, bro. Like young children and elderly people are the same people after when they get to those ages. They need to sleep and they need naps in the middle of the day. He needed his nap, bro. That's all it was. He just needed his nap. He was and he was probably jet lagged too. Like it affects them different when they're at that age. He needed a nap and he was jet lagged. So there you go. Joe Biden, man, keep
leave the
keep
guy alone, man.
keep
For
doing
health,
you, keep
man.
doing you, keep doing you. Another. This one was a little bit sad. I didn't really want to get into it because we don't really have much information. But there was a headline was Coast Guard ends search for missing Louisiana teen who fell overboard in the Bahamas. Actually, let's talk about this one because I do want to talk about it just real quick. So an 18-year-old Cameron Robbins from Louisiana arrived and was staying at the Atlantis Paradise Resort in the Bahamas with other teenagers to celebrate, graduating from high school and all these things. So if you guys don't know, in Louisiana, like this is very, very common to go to because they're so close to the Caribbean and like Mexico and all these type of things. So going on a cruising is very, very common. It's very cheap too. And so they arrived in the Bahamas, and then later on that same day they went on a sunset cruise with a company called Blackbeard's Revenge, and it's a pirate themed sunset cruise. And after a few hours on that the same day, so at nighttime, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force personnel contacted Coast Guard District 7 watchstanders at 11:30 p.m. and reported that a man fell off the Blackbeard's Revenge sunset cruise ship and entered the water. And so he was in the water. And obviously they stayed there for a few hours searching for him, but obviously at this time, it's super dark. Couldn't really see him anymore. And they kept searching for him for 2 more days. And then on Friday, so this all happened on Wednesday. On Friday, they finally called off the search and ended the search. And there is a video of Cameron in the water after he jumped. Again, people filming other people, seemingly being naked. So that's the other part too. So now it's 11:30 p.m. It's dark. You can assume that the water is cold, and you've jumped off naked. Well, let me not say you've jumped off. So that's another speculation, is that he actually jumped over the railings because of a dare. Like he was allegedly dared to do it, and he jumped off, and which has led people to believe that he's intoxicated, that he was intoxicated at the time too. So, you combine all those things, it being nighttime, water is cold, it's dark, you're naked, and you're intoxicated.
Probably wet as well. Railings might be wet.
Yeah, and you're intoxicated. Like, realistically, your survival rate drops down very, 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 very massively. With that said, they still haven't found him. Oh, and the water is apparently known to be a shark infested body of water.
Of course, just add that to the list as well.
Of like things that make it kind of. But again, they haven't found him. So there's still kind of this.
I mean, they won't find him anymore, innit? It's cooled off now.
Yeah,
bro. Jump in, like, you know how we were young. They were like, oh, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was so close to the ocean. One thing they kept drilling is like punch the shark in the nose. But all that, especially when you're drunk, all that's going out your head.
bro.
There is no.
You can say all that until a shark actually comes up to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm not doing all that.
It's gonna be an experience out of.
Yeah, what is it? Is it Mike Tyson? You have a plan until you get punched in the face. If a shark is right there about to eat you, you're not like you're not gonna be like strategic. Go for the nose, the gills.
He don't even have to punch you. It just has to swim up to you. You know how fast they swim to you as well, bro. Hey, quick, bro. Like 40 miles an hour type of quickness, bro. They're crazy down there.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Sadly, it is very, very common for people to be eaten or dragged out of shore by sharks. But for me, it'll be my prayers and thoughts to his family, friends.
Yeah. Apparently, there was a statistic. I don't have it written down, but it was like in the last 2 years or something, of over 200 people have been reported to have gone overboard. Like 40 of them had been rescued.
Yeah, that's insane, bro.
It's like a fifth.
Yeah,
20%.
People need to understand that animals adapt. Just like last week when we spoke about the whale targeting boats and trying to flip them over. Like, animals adapt, bro. Sharks probably know more than they used to back then.
Do you guys think the crews? Do you guys hold the crews like any fault? Do you think they're is there any blame on them? Do you think?
No,
I don't think so. I think they probably did all they needed to do, in terms of, and some companies just do it for show and for legal reasons. But I'm sure they told them, make sure these are the safety procedures. If this happens, do that. If that happens, do that. Make sure you don't, they jump over the railings.
They do.
They have to do that.
When I went on a cruise, that's the first thing they do, is they get everyone to like a certain area and they give you all of the important like stuff. Yeah.
So I don't think they'd be held liable for anything.
Yeah.
They've done, and especially if he jumped over and he was there. Nah. Well, sometimes people just do stuff that is just
out of your control. Like, they do. Some of the arguments have been like, since it's like a sunset cruise, since it's like a lot of not children, but a lot of like people that are gonna be intoxicated. They were like, maybe there should have been just a little bit more staff members out there, a little bit more security people out there, and all that type of stuff. Maybe the railings should have been higher, for example. And another thing was that, and this one, we don't know if that cruise had it, but they're like, maybe there should be, the idea of an overboard detection system should be a lot more common, and it should be like everywhere in all of these types of cruises and ships and all these type of things.
Like some kind of like sonar that detects like smaller objects around.
Like no, but like someone's gone overboard. You know what I mean? Like someone's gone overboard.
Oh yeah,
that type
of like a lanyard.
Yeah, or it's like a bracelet that you wear.
Things.
Yeah. But I agree with you guys. I don't think nothing much gets back to them. I think these type of businesses, they operate in such a way where, they work in a thing where a lot of liabilities can happen. So I'm sure they would have patterned up all those things.
I mean, they'll probably do more now, I think, because of, I don't know if this has happened before with that company, but whenever something like that happens, like it shakes up the company, it makes its way up, right? There's people who now have some sort of trauma because of that work within the company. That's gonna, go to the managers, have to deal with that, and then the people higher up and higher up and higher up. And I think it's going to have, and it's all over the news, like it's going to have some sort of wave ripple within the company. So they're probably going to do something, even if it's just training for the staff, just to say, hey guys, like don't let people jump overboard.
They say that,
but you should also give credit where credit is due, because I mean, I don't know the day that it happened, were the waves mad, were the waves calm, I don't know, but you know, the staff did kind of immediately stop the cruise and kept looking for at least 3 hours for him, you know.
Yeah. You know what? Because I watched the video. It's a really disturbing. Again, I don't recommend you watch the video, but I did watch the video. It's really, it's actually kind of, it's dark, bro. Because the people that are filming him are kids themselves too. Like these people all like graduate high school and stuff like that. You know, the guy was like, "Yo, this kid just jumped off the thing," and then people are telling him bye bye. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like people, Overboard, where people were telling him bye bye, and someone threw a buoy, not a buoy, is it called a buoy? The life vest,
like the life ring.
The ring, yeah, that one. They threw it over.
Yeah.
They threw it, but like it looked like he was like drifting away from it though. And people were shouting like, "Yo, go get that, yo." But yeah, like it was kind of crazy, man. You have to imagine some of those people will probably have PTSD too.
Yeah.
Having witnessed something as dramatic as that. Because what I heard, like in one of them was like screaming, like like proper screaming. But yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers to the families of Cameron and Robbins, man. If he's alive, I hope you find him.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, I hope he's alive. Actually, let me start with that first hope, and then if he is alive, I hope he makes his way to you. Not do some. What's that movie with Tom Hanks? Castaway, where he's in an island talking to a football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, people. Florida man news time.
You never run out Florida man news.
Bro,
there's always Florida man
Florida never runs out of Florida men. The only time Florida man news stops is if Florida men leave Florida.
Then it would just be like another area news.
It would just be Florida woman.
Or
wait, there are no Florida women, are there?
There are.
There are, like, is that like a thing as like Florida women as well, or no?
No.
But a Florida man, sometimes it will be a Florida woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Headline reads: Florida man claims he broke into house to hide from ghost.
I don't know what to say anymore with these guys.
But when I get to the end of this story, it'll all click.
That's not it.
It'll all click.
What was he on?
It'll all click when I get to the end of this story. But we'll get step by step. So Florida man Andrew George, he's in jail for allegedly breaking into a house, and he broke into the home because he claimed that a ghost was chasing him. So George, and his alleged accomplice, Natasha Kachuroy, they were at a motel or a hotel, and they booked a room, and then they went into the room, and then moments later, like they heard some noises, like at the window, at the door. They thought like someone was like trying to break into the room, right? And so they left the room. They went to the office, and they were claiming like a refund. They were like, no, someone was trying to, go into our room. We don't like it here. It's not safe. We want a refund. Eventually, the office manager or whatever gave him the refund. At which point, they thought that they saw a shadow, and they thought that was the person that was chasing after them. So they booked it. They legged it. They got the money, and they kept running. They ran to the other side of the road where there was a 7-Eleven, and then they were asking for help, like help. And then obviously like people were just ignoring them, and they just kept running. And then at some point, for some reason, apparently he thought like he wanted to hide from the ghost, so he went into a body of water to hide from the ghost.
In Florida,
yeah, and yeah, exactly. It could have been a swamp for all he knew. He left, and so Natasha like pulled him out of the water. I was like, what? Like on the vibes of like, what you doing? And then they kept running and running until eventually they got into like a street full of houses, and then they kept knocking on the neighbors, like on the houses and stuff like that, like, get us in, help us. And then at one point he went to this one house and he grabbed something to break the window, apparently, in order to get into the house. And then he got into the house and the man inside the house was like having dinner with his family and with his family, just like on a chill, like it's a family dinner time, like, you know what I'm saying? And then this man just comes in like, help me, like like a ghost is chasing me. And then the police came and so on and so forth. And where is it?
It's not a ghost.
No.
They thought an actual person was chasing them.
Well, at some point, apparently, he started hearing like children's voices in his head. So he's now convinced that this is because they've never seen they never saw a person actually chase them.
Yeah.
So now they've convinced themselves that, you know, it's a ghost, it's a shadow that's chasing them and all these type of things.
And both of them were convinced.
Yes.
That's very interesting. Okay.
So the people living inside the house called 911 and threatened to stab him with a kitchen knife if he didn't leave. George allegedly told the officers he couldn't get into the home due to God telling him the female inside the home was a bad person to hang out with. The suspect told the female that was with him, Natasha, was a bad person to hang out with. So because of who he was hanging out with, God was not going to help him by going into this house, essentially. And then the suspect also told officers he heard children's voices and didn't want to scare the child, according to documents. So he did all that.
The ghost.
Yeah. I don't know. I think so. I don't know anymore. And then so after all that, he told all this story, right? George admitted to taking Molly, also known as ecstasy. And that is why he believes and that taking the ecstasy is why he believes God was not protecting him from making bad choices. Not that the Molly made him do bad choices, but the fact that he took it, God was punishing him and making him bad.
Oh, poor guy, man. Poor guy. And they both took it.
I get. Yes.
So they were both like
tripping.
Yeah. But they were both like making it worse for each other because one person's like, there's a ghost, and the next person that's gonna like play on them. Like, if there's a ghost, oh, I just heard this, and then the other person believes it as well.
Listen, man, Andrew George, I don't know, because he's in jail for burglary. But maybe, I don't know, man. Hopefully you don't spend too much time in jail, man, because no one got hurt, you know. I think he got hurt, actually, because I think they pulled into the house and he was like bleeding or something. Yeah, man. I hope you don't spend too much time in jail, man. Because no one really did get hurt, and I hope hopefully you get the help that you need, man. Because it clearly looks like you went through something just now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was the first time, so hopefully. They'll never do it again.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's high five. Andrew George, welcome to Florida Man News. And lastly, rounding out the show, faith in humanity restored news. Whoop, 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 whoop.
There we go.
And actually, normally when we do this, it's normally about like a specific person doing like something nice or doing something nice, or a specific person, overcoming like a tragedy and coming out of it a better person. But today, actually, we're going to talk about a whole nation of people.
Wow. Whole nation. A lot of
Sweet.
positivity
A
right there.
whole nation. We were talking about the herd mentality. You're talking about a whole nation.
Oh, this
Mashallah.
nation's herd mentality is positive and great. Sweden. The headline reads: Sweden close to becoming the first smoke-free country in Europe as daily use of cigarettes have dwindled. MashaAllah. MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Wow.
Allahumma
Mashallah.
barik.
So Sweden, which has the
Well done,
lowest
Sweden. Well done.
Sweden, which has the lowest rate of smoking in the European Union, is close to declaring itself smoke-free, which in Europe just means having fewer than 5% daily smokers in the population. So I don't know what do you call it? I don't know what their population is, but currently they're at like 6% something, and they're very close to eradicating, not eradicating, but lowering that number significantly. They believe it to be a direct result of, you know, the bans of smoking in certain establishments, so not being able to smoke indoors and all these type of things, the packaging and all these type of things. And a Stockholm resident named Corinna Asterson says, we like a healthy way to live. I think that's the reason. Smoking never really interested me because I don't like the smell. I want to take care of my body. And that's facts, man. That should be the case for everybody, bro. That should be the case for everybody.
Amazing.
How can you like the smell of smoke? Smoke is disgusting.
But it's cool. Makes you look cool.
I know someone who started smoking because of stress. Some people start smoking because it's a vice at the end of the day, innit? Like drinking. You know, some people start doing these vices because a tragedy or trauma or something like really stressful has come into their life.
All right.
I know someone who started smoking because a tragedy hit their life, and it gives them a sense of relief, I guess.
I wonder what the correlation is between. Oh, sorry. Were you done?
No, carry on.
I interrupted you. I think.
Carry on.
Yeah, I wonder what the correlation is between the fulfillment and happiness in the country compared to smoking.
Oh,
'Cause you know they have those like rankings.
Mm.
I wonder where Sweden is. Yeah, I should check.
Sweden is a really good like country though when it comes to that type of stuff. Especially, I mean, at least in Europe, like they have like good healthcare, they have good like public transport. Like the government does like good things for their people. I think their education is free in college, in university. I could be wrong about that.
So,
but yeah,
Sweden is the 7th happiest country in the world,
there you go.
with a happiness index score of 7.38.
I mean, I don't know how they
Don't know what
measure
that
that, but yeah, there you go. I'm assuming the happiest country in the world is some Asian country somewhere, right? I bet it is. Is it?
Not according to this, no.
Where is it? What's number one?
Number 1 is Finland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Switzerland, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and then Sweden.
It's fake. You know why
Okay,
it's
do the
fake?
top 10. Norway, Israel, and New Zealand, top 10.
See, they added New Zealand there for the vibes, but it's fake. It's fake, bro. That's a racist website. Now that I think about it, look at the happiest people in the world, bro. Blonde hair, blue-eyed people. Look. They added New Zealand for diversity purposes. That was as diverse as they were gonna go. With the
They've got Israel too.
Yeah, but come on, man. All the lists. Come on. When it's positive stuff, Israel has to be there, bro.
You know what? It keeps going as well. Like all these white countries: Australia, Austria, Ireland, Canada, Germany, Belgium, France, and I'm just skipping now. Bahrain is the next one. That's not a white country. 21. And maybe Czech Republic. No, is that? Yeah, Czech Republic is a white country.
Boys, we gotta go on a trip, man. We gotta do a boys trip. Cause you said Bahrain. I want to go to the UAE, bro.
I'd love to. We've been saying this for years, though. We need to save money.
But you
Just
know
give
what?
it-
We've been saying it for years, right? But we've always wanted to do like Tokyo, Japan type vibes. I don't want to go there anymore. I want to go UAE, bro. I want to go Dubai. I want to go to the Middle
You know what
East,
we
bro.
should do? We should. Well, I guess you're in America now, but like we should go to something that's like really like Scotland, for example. So like, and even if you came to like to Scotland, your ticket would be higher. But if everyone contributes like a little bit towards that, then that would help. And it just means we all get like a super cheap holiday. Maybe not you as much, but we get a cheap holiday. We don't even need to take a plane. Like we can take like a coach. I've been to Scotland on coach. It's like 8 hours though. No, it was a bus, like the train. Sorry.
Scotland is not the
And it was
vibes, bro. What are you going there, bro? What are you going there to do? Look at castles, grass. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, the scenery. Scotland's got some beautiful scenery. Or Wales as well.
You might as well just go.
about
You
that.
might as well. You might just go Blackpool, bro. Like, what are you doing in At least Blackpool has a beach, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't feel the same because it's still like England, you know. If you say I've gone to Scotland, I mean, it's another country, but it's also not because it's the UK. But it still feels like I've gone there, you know, outside of England.
I guess.
Vibes.
I guess. Hey, listen. I don't think anyone really cares about us trying to plan our vacation. People, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching today. We appreciate you. I hope you did like the video. And by saying that, I mean I hope you like the content and then you actually like the video. Like you click on the video like button down below. Subscribe to the channel.
Wait. What if you don't like it?
Then just leave. Khalas.
Comment. No. Comment down below, brother.
I don't want you. Go away. Bye.
If they don't like it, they're not here anymore. They're gone.
That's true.
They're long gone.
That's true. Yeah, like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more content. And yeah, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, and let us know what you thought about some of these articles today. And we hope to see you next week, right? We hope that, right?
Yeah.
Of course, man. Episode 16.
Episodes.
The build up to episode 20.
People, thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.
Wa alaikum salam.
And we're done. All right. So I did.